Hey everyone, and welcome to my preview for the final Grand Prix of this season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And what a race we're in for. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, as I'm sure you know, going into that final race, level on points. Max slightly ahead because of the number of races that he's won compared to Lewis in 2021. But it really is shaped up to be an absolute classic. And obviously, with the track changes that have been made to Abu Dhabi, I think that's going to add to it as well in terms of who will come out on top. Now, no, obviously Max won last year's race, but generally Lewis tends to go well at Abu Dhabi as well. So for me, I think it's difficult to say in terms of which team will better suit to Abu Dhabi, because obviously Red Bull have had previous, even before Lewis's wins and Max's win last year, Red Bull have generally gone well in Abu Dhabi. But as I mentioned, with the new track layout for this year, to make it quicker, but obviously to be able to see more overtaking as well. Yeah, it's an intriguing prospect, and I'm really intrigued to see how the track plays out, and whether indeed we do get to see many overtakes during the race. But it really is shaping up this weekend to be an absolute classic. And honestly, I even now I can't call it. I really don't know who will come out on top this weekend, and I think that's the beauty of this season, the fact that I've seen so many times where Red Bull has had momentum, and you think that Red Bull are going to run over the championship, but then Mercedes bounce back, and then vice versa. Mercedes, when they've had the momentum, and you feel that Mercedes are going to further extend their advantage over Red Bull. Red Bull bounce back. So, and right now you could argue that Mercedes, it's them that have the momentum, but with one race, anything can happen. And with this final season finale in Abu Dhabi, it's anyone's game, and it really is winner takes it all. So I'm so looking forward to this weekend, as I'm sure many of us are, and it's going to be a great weekend. I think a great spectacle for Formula One, and this is what we wanted, isn't it? This is what we wanted to see Mercedes, taken, you know, have a close battle, and we've seen that this season. And going to the final race of the season, obviously it will be no doubt stressful for both Red Bull and Mercedes, but as the neutral, looking in from the outside, it's exactly what we want. And as I say, I think we're going to be treated to a classic this season, this weekend, I should say. But yeah, can't wait. And as I mentioned, Mercedes do have the momentum. Lewis is definitely fought back, definitely in his latter part of the season for sure. He's fought come back very strongly, as have Mercedes. But I would, but you would be a fool to write Red Bull off. Look, we know that, we saw what happened in Saudi Arabia between Max and Lewis, and I understand why penalties were given to Max. Yeah, I can totally understand that. And I mentioned about Max, needing to look at his own own driving, and just think more really about it. But one of the interesting things that I've in terms of doing this preview, I just only read well find it quite staggering in the fact that I believe this is Max's seventh season in Formula One, and he's still really young in his career. He's got so many years left ahead of him. But 7 years without a title, I think that's something that potentially could play on his mind this weekend. But the I think one of the advantages, Lewis knows how to win titles. He's been there, he's done it before. Max hasn't, and there's bound to be nerves. Even though Lewis has won 7 world titles, I'm sure there'll be some nerves for from Lewis's side, but also from Max's side. And I think it's natural to have to have nerves, particularly when you go into a final or a competition of this magnitude, of, say, any other like high sporting profile finals. There's always going to be that nerves, but also that there'll be that excitement as well for both teams and for both drivers as well. To be able to make history. For Lewis to become the most decorated driver in Formula One history and to outright take the title of the most world championships won, but also for Formula One to crown a new world champion in Max Verstappen. So, I'm sure both drivers will see it as that. And as well, obviously, I mentioned about nerves. There will be nerves, but it's also an opportunity as well. And I'm sure that's how both drivers will view the weekend in Abu Dhabi. But yeah, I'm so excited for this weekend, and I can't call it. I really can't call it. If I had to hedge my bets purely on momentum, I would say that it looks like you'd think Lewis would win the title. The sport does funny things, and you just never know what can happen in sport. So, Max now is still he's not in a bad position at all. And I think in qualifying, the dream as a neutral would be to have Lewis and Max on the front row. That would be the dream scenario. But then no, you could then think, no, would Verstappen do? Would he do? Think about what I think it was 1990 when um Suzuka, when Senna went into Prost. Would Verstappen do the same to Lewis? Look, that is not the way to win a drivers' championship. You want to win it fairly. You want to win it clean on the track as well, and you got to earn the right as well. And I think even though both Lewis and Max, whoever wins the title, they will have deserved it, and they will have deserved it. For Max, having won so many races this year, having led so many laps as well, Max will have Max will have earned it for sure. But also, if Lewis won the title as well, he will have earned it. The fact that he was at some point, there's been points this season where he has been so many points behind Red Bull and Verstappen, and yet they found a way to bounce back. So that never say die attitude from Lewis, I think would also um, earn him the right to celebrate as well. So I just think we're going to be in for a really intriguing finale in Abu Dhabi, and I know I keep saying this, but I really cannot wait for this weekend. I think we're going to be in for a great weekend of Formula One. But of course, whilst it'll be Lewis and Max who will be taking the headlines, there are also other headlines as well. This will be Valtteri Bottas's last weekend as a Mercedes driver, and as he will be moving to Alfa Romeo next season. So Valtteri will definitely want to end his career at Mercedes on a high, and Valtteri's played a fantastic part in getting to Mercedes, in helping Mercedes to where they are. The Lewis has described him as the perfect teammate. And Valtteri's done a solid job at Mercedes. He really has, and I think he can definitely hold his head high in terms of how he's performed at Mercedes. Of course, he would like to have won a world championship with Mercedes. Of course, he would like to have won um, more races, but at the same time, as I say, he's been the perfect teammate um, for Lewis. Whether Lewis has it all his own way next season when George Russell comes in, only time will tell. But as I say, I think Valtteri's done a solid job at Mercedes. He's played his part in Mercedes winning so many constructors titles, particularly in this hybrid era. So yeah, Valtteri can definitely um, leave Mercedes with his head held high, and whilst he will be one thing that will be going into Alfa Romeo, he'll be replacing another thing in Kimi Raikkonen. So this weekend will be Kimi's final race in his Formula One career, and Kimi has given us so many great moments. Of course, for me, one of the standout moments for me of Kimi is I think it was Suzuka 2005 when he was with McLaren. coming all the way from the back of the field, then to be able to get by Giancarlo Fisichella. I think it was on the final lap of that race. So that's one of many memories of Kimi Raikkonen. Of course, when he was with Lotus, now Alpine. In Abu Dhabi, I think it was 2012, where he said, "Yeah, leave me alone, I know what I'm doing." That was a bit of a comical moment. In Malaysia, when he was with Ferrari, that ice cream moment. So there have been some funny moments with Kimi Raikkonen, but also let's not forget, he's a world champion as well. Been crowned world champion in 2007, and yeah, Kimi has given us so many great moments, and he will be missed for sure, for sure. So just want to wish Kimi all the very best in his retirement from Formula One, and you will be missed, Kimi. And yeah, the Formula One paddock definitely won't be the same without you. So yeah, all the very best, Kimi, in whatever it is you do next. And yeah, thank you so much for all the memories that you've given to us. And yeah, and also, there are some other points as well. Speaking of Alfa Romeo, actually, so really good couple of points for Antonio Giovinazzi in Saudi Arabia. So this will also be Antonio's last race for the Alfa Romeo team, as he will be replaced by Guan Yu Zhou for 2022. But we know of Antonio, he's going into Formula E next season. So, whilst at the moment it's the end of his Formula One career, you just never know. We might see him back in the future. Also, Alfa Romeo as well, with those couple of points, slightly close the gap to Williams in the constructors. Still think Williams are in pole position to take eighth in the constructors. But with those couple of points, it's made it just a little bit more interesting. You just never know. Alfa Romeo do pick up a strong result in Abu Dhabi. That might get Williams wincing a bit for that eighth place in the constructors. So yeah, definitely all to play for in that battle. I think with the battle for third in the constructors, I think although Daniel Ricciardo, great drive from him in Saudi Arabia to finish fifth. I still think Ferrari look in a good position to be able to claim that third place in the constructors from McLaren. But look, even though McLaren, they'll be disappointed not to finish third. By it seems like that will happen, but even so, McLaren can take so many positives from this in that season. I think since Russia, I think McLaren have struggled. Um, they have struggled since Russia. Coincidentally, that was when Ferrari brought their upgrades, and then Ferrari have really been able to build from there. So it's still been a very good season for McLaren. I think they'll just be looking for that second half consistency in 2022. Just as and really just to be able to what they were able to achieve in the first half of this year, to be able to build on that for the rest of the season. And yeah, so McLaren will definitely, I think, with all the new regulations coming, I think McLaren will definitely be a team to watch out for next year. And yeah, I expect some good things and excellent things from McLaren next year. So it comes down to predictions. Top three in Abu Dhabi. Who am I going to go for? Well, now I've mentioned about not being able to call it. So you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to go for a Max Verstappen win. Lewis Hamilton to finish second, and normally I would say, I would say, well, in most occasions I would say Valtteri Bottas to finish third. But why not mix it up a bit? Let's go for Charles Leclerc to finish third on the podium. So top three of Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc. And with that, if that result did happen, then that would mean that Max Verstappen would be crowned world champion. But as I said earlier, anything can happen in sport. I'm just looking forward to an entertaining, what hopefully, fingers crossed, will be an entertaining Grand Prix, entertaining weekend, and it's going to be a thriller. really is going to be a thriller. I really hope it is. And yeah, hope you guys and girls are looking forward to the weekend. So that's the end of my preview. If you want to talk things Formula One, I'm at Baggies20 on Twitter and also on Instagram, Manish Patel89. Enjoy the Grand Prix weekend, the season finale in Abu Dhabi, and I will catch up with you all later when I do my review of the season finale, where we'll know who will be crowned world champion for 2021. Take care, everyone.